When I travel, I love to grab cookbooks from wherever I go. And now I'm finally going to start cooking them. And so to decide what the next recipe I'm going to cook, I've written down every country that I have a cookbook for. And we're going to shake it up and we're going to pick out a random cookbook and we're going to pick out a random recipe. The names written down on pieces of card in here. So let's decide which we will cook. Albania, go figure. The country I'm in currently, right now. The cookbook that we will be using is Eating Albania. Hey Siri, pick a random number between 0 and 421.
A random number between 0 and 421 is 168.
Okay, we will be cooking a full moon Burek. That's not pronounced correctly at all. Let's get to it.
To make the phyllo dough for this recipe, it calls for 5 cups of all-purpose unbleached flour and 2 cups of warm water. Now that we've got all the water in, it's a teaspoon of salt and a half cup of olive oil. Now that I have it all mixed up and it's not too sticky, I am going to cover it and set it aside for 30 minutes. While it sets, we will make the filling. And now it's kind of ambiguous in this book for the filling. There are many options. I decided to go with the feta cheese option because cheese is awesome. For the cheese filling, it's 1 pound of crumbled feta with 4 eggs and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Got to make sure that the feta and the eggs are nice and mixed.
All right, so we had a few issues converting cups to grams and milliliters and all that stuff. I guess that's going to happen when you're using a book for the United States and you're in Europe and you only have measuring instruments for one and you got to convert it to the other. And so it might have got a little screwy when I was doing the bread and when I was doing the water and the dough and everything. But got it situated, got it figured out. I think we got it. We'll find out. But we're ready to start rolling everything out. So let's get into it.
It's been about 30 minutes, and let's return to the dough. So we want it to be nice and smooth, but okay. We are going to cut the phyllo dough into 9 individual pieces, and each piece is going to be a thin phyllo layer into the baking pan. Now, I don't have a lot of rolling out space. Sprinkle down some flour and make sure my hefty, thick rolling pin is nice and coated in flour. I don't want anything to stick. There's nothing worse than a sticky rolling pin. Okay, we're going to flatten this one out. We're going to cover the bottom of the baking pan. Now we're going to brush a little bit of oil on top of the phyllo sheet, just to kind of prevent the phyllo sheets from just absorbing into each other. And now that this is in, we're going to scoop out the feta cheese mixture and make sure it's kind of evenly spread out so it bakes as evenly as possible. And now we're going to add the 2 final layers of the phyllo bread, or the phyllo dough, over top. And again, a bit ambiguous with the recipe. The baking time is kind of all over the place. The one that keeps popping up the most is 25 to 30 minutes at 400 degrees. I've seen a few others, but this is the main temperature they keep listing, so I'm going to go with that. Ta-da! With the magic of editing, it's been 30 minutes. Actually, it's been 37 minutes because I checked a couple minutes ago, and it did not look like it was... the dough did not look like it was all the way baked. And if I'm being honest, it kind of still doesn't look like it's already baked.
Oh, all right. I don't know how this turned out. The dough definitely needs to be cooked longer. Maybe the oven temperature's off. I'm gonna have to look at that. Since I just moved in, I couldn't find a thermometer in time, so I cooked it for as long, actually a couple minutes longer than I was supposed to. I mean, I know I messed up a few different ways. It didn't say how long or how large of a pan we needed to make it. Just kind of throws it off. I don't know. There was a lot of information that they just didn't include. I mean, it's edible. This was not the best introduction to this. Hopefully, the next edition of this get a little better.